Well, hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, I will give you a buyer's guide for a very interesting cross-country mountain bike, and it's going to be the buyer's guide for the Trek Procaliber 9.5. You see, this hardtail mountain bike has an interesting retail price of $2,500 US, and I think it's very interesting because in today's world of very expensive bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, it's rare to see the decent quality mountain bikes in the range between, let's say, $2,000 to about $2,500 US. So this is why I think this is a very interesting offering from Trek. So let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So you see, a Trek Procaliber 9.5 is a classical example of hardtail mountain bike. So if you like to spend your time mixed between, road and off-road, you like to go into the forests, climb steep mountains, go downhill, going off-roading, then definitely hardtail mountain bikes are a right tool for the job. Personally, I think that hardtail mountain bikes are so underrated, specifically in the world of gravel road bikes. I would always choose a proper hardtail mountain bike because it is the much better tool for any kind of the job on road, off road. When you look at the paint scheme on this Trek Procaliber, you only have one paint scheme. It is this very classical black and red paint scheme. Looks beautiful on this Trek Procaliber, no problems with that. And I kind of understand why Trek didn't offer another paint scheme on this bike because, as I say, the retail price is $2,500 US. So let's dive into the specifications and let's really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. As always, we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So you see the frame is the carbon fiber OCLV mountain carbon fiber frame with the Trek's own IsoSpeed decoupler. So, as I said many times, IsoSpeed decoupler is a Trek's proprietary solution, comes from their road bike range, and basically what it means is that your seat tube can move independently from the top tube and the chainstays, and definitely it's a very neat solution, and it will soak up a lot of the road bumps on this mountain bike. This carbon fiber frame, of course, comes with the Trek's lifetime warranty, which is excellent. It also has a press fit bottom bracket, classical Shimano standard press fit bottom bracket, and it has a 12mm through axle at the back, and it's going to be a 15mm through axle at the front. Here they are also using the Trek's own Boost 148mm axle at the back, but this is now also becoming a standard on some other mountain bikes. All in all, carbon fiber frame with the Trek's lifetime warranty, no special complaints from me when it comes to the carbon fiber frame. Now let's talk about the fork on this bike. So you are getting a RockShox Judy SL fork. Of course, this is the solo air spring fork from RockShox with the turnkey lockout. It has a 100mm of travel, 15mm through axle at the front. And also, I will mention here, I believe this fork also has a rebound adjustment. It is a very, basic RockShox Judy SL fork. I wish that Trek has used here, for example, a RockShox Recon fork, because some of the competition can do it on this level of the pricing, but it is what it is. RockShox Judy 100mm travel fork with 32mm legs of the fork, aluminum legs. It's going to be a decent fork, don't expect anything, superb. It's not like you're going to be racing some heavy cross-country mountain bike races, then definitely I would suggest you to upgrade the fork. As it is, perfectly fine, and in the future, it's always easy to upgrade if you really want a bit more specification or a bit more performance from this fork. Also, I will mention here that when you are fitting the braking rotors on this fork, the maximum size should be 220mm for the braking rotors. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike. So what are you getting? So the front wheel and the rear wheel are both from Bontrager. It's a Bontrager Co-V tubeless wheel set, 29 inches front and the back, and it comes with the Bontrager's own hubs front and the back. So the hubs are classical sealed bearings hubs. with the 15mm axle at the front and also 12mm axle at the back. I'm not expecting anything, special from these classical aluminum wheels. They will definitely be around 2 kilograms in weight, and also in the future I would suggest you, if you want to upgrade your wheel set, have a look at the DT Swiss wheels first and see what you can buy there. You can probably get an excellent wheel set for about $600-700 US. As I say, this Bontrager Covey tubeless ready wheel set is probably going to be a decent workhorse in the beginning. I'm not expecting any special problems here. Also, I will mention that this wheel set is wrapped in the Bontrager XR2 tires. These are 29-inch tires, of course, and 2.2 inches wide, again tubeless ready. I think 2.2 inches for a 29-inch wheel is perfectly fine. You have a lot of air volume inside to make the ride smoother. If you want to go wider, then the biggest tire you can fit is 2.4 inches wide. And all this wheel set will come tubeless ready, tubeless prepared, so it's a very good addition from the Trek. Now let's talk about the drivetrain on this bike. So what are you getting? So this bike, first of all, doesn't have a front mech, so it's a one-by system where you only have a shifter and the rear mech. The shifter in this case is a Shimano Deore shifter M6100 12-speed group set, and the rear mech, of course, again Shimano Deore rear mech, and as I said, a mechanical group set from Shimano, proper workhorse Shimano Deore, and it's a perfectly fine group set, no complaints here from me. When you look at the crankset, they've cut corners a little bit here because they are using a Shimano MT511 crankset with a 30-tooth steel chainring. I wish that they have used here a proper Shimano Deore crankset with a 32-tooth chainring, but upgrading the front chainring is very easy. And also, I would say once in the future, when you destroy this crankset, you might as well buy yourself immediately Shimano Deore crankset with the 32 chainring. Why I'm saying 32 chainring? Because if you look at the cassette is the Shimano Deore cassette 1051 12-speed cassette, so there's a huge range there, and I have a feeling that with 1051 cassette at the back and using a 30-tooth chainring in the front, you might be spinning a bit too much. So that's why it seems to me that a 32-tooth chainring at the front would be just a little bit better. But again, I'm glad that there is no cutting corners with the cassette, so the cassette is a proper Shimano Deore cassette, and also the chain is a proper Shimano Deore 12-speed chain. The maximum chainring you can fit at the front is 36 tooth, but you will really have to have a lot of power to use this 36 tooth at the front. Now let's talk about some of the smaller components on the bike. So the saddle you are getting is going to be Bontrager Arvada saddle. I'm expecting it to be a very basic saddle. If you don't like it, it's very easy to replace and, get yourself a saddle that you really like. The seat post, classical aluminum seat post from Bontrager, 31.6 millimeters in diameter. And here I would again suggest you in the future to upgrade to some kind of carbon fiber seat post, because it's going to go very well with the Trek IsoSpeed decoupler plus your carbon fiber seat post. The smoothness of this bike will be amazing. When you look at the handlebar and the stem, classical Bontrager aluminum pieces, both handlebar and the stem. They are separate pieces, so there is no proprietary pieces here. Very easy to adjust, very easy to replace in the future, and this is what you want on a proper cross-country mountain bike. I don't believe you need here any carbon fiber pieces, but a nice aluminum pieces which are not proprietary is the way to go. Now let's look at the braking system on this bike. You will get basically Shimano MT200 hydraulic disc brakes front and the back, 180mm braking rotors at the front and 160mm at the back. And the braking rotors are a very, very basic Shimano RT26. I strongly recommend you in the future, when you destroy these rotors, buy yourself a proper Shimano SLX braking rotors or Shimano XT braking rotors. And also, in the future, would be nice to replace these hydraulic disc brakes MT200 and buy yourself a nice pair of Shimano Deore hydraulic disc brakes. So they've cut corners a little bit here with the Shimano MT200 hydraulic disc brakes, but again, I'm guessing this is just to save a bit of money here and there. Total weight of this hardtail mountain bike in size medium is going to be 11.9 kilograms according to Trek. So if you need sizes like medium large or large, easily this bike can be approximately 12.5 kilograms out of the box, which is a decent weight for this type of the cross-country mountain bike with, again, this heavy wheel set and the Shimano Deore group set. So all in all, what is my advice to you if you are in the market for this type of the bike? Well, when you consider that this PROCALIBER 9.5 costs $2,500 US, I believe you should consider this bike, and specifically if you are interested, you need to negotiate the price of this bike. I believe if you can get this bike for about $2,100 US, then I would definitely go ahead and buy it. This way, $2,500 US, it is just a little bit too expensive, because you can look at one of my videos I made recently. It was about Canyon Exceed CF5 cross-country mountain bike, which is an astonishing value for money, which retails for $2,000 US. So I believe that this bike could be around $2,000 to $2,100 US, and then it would be a recommendation. As it is now, as I say, you need to negotiate the price of this bike. So this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!